Martin Muiruri is my husband, 16 years. We got married in 2008. He is a scriptwriter, has a very nice voice for radio. The face for TV, I'm not too sure.
This one has been married for 16 years. Don't try that. 3 years of marriage. Your first year of marriage,
Yes.
how was it?
Our first year of marriage, we got married in July. September, I was in theatre.
Not acting. She was having medical issues. You know,
Oh,
not
theatre. Actually, me, I saw theatre.
Not theatre arts.
No, not theatre arts. Wait. His sister told me, anakuanga mgonjwa. He's normally sick.
Yeah.
So I thought malaria, flu, those things, yeah. And then I hear MS and I'm like, I've never heard of MS.
Yes.
I go on the internet and the first thing I read is about 2 million people in the world have MS. I'm like, hey, 1 in a million. Yeah, you maybe have a chance of being 1 in a million.
So he was at a bad place.
Yes, we have gone through the depressive states, the depressive stages. And like for him, I tell him I think it's harder being a man who is unwell.
Yeah.
I think we are used to women. Women can be sick. And the rest of the women will bundle around us and they will try to make our life comfortable. But it's understandable. But for a guy who is unwell,
Hi guys, and welcome back. This is the Rodah Kidula Show. If you're new here, please subscribe to this channel. This is a space where we glorify marriage because we believe and we know it's a fact. It was instituted by God. So we talk about the good side of it, and we get couples who are thriving in healthy marriages to just share their stories and the wisdom they have acquired through the years of dating and marriage. So I'm excited about this one today, all the way from Machakos County, yeah. But first, to thank JK Studios, the amazing job they do in capturing the moments on the Rodah Kidula Show. They record the show and also take amazing photos. You need to visit their social media platforms at JK Studios Kenya to see the amazing job they do. So if you have a wedding, a birthday, any event, please consider JK Studios. Also shout out to Polly Bakes. Oh, she made me a beautiful cake for my 6th wedding anniversary. I just turned 6. Guys, I need to write a book. It is that time for me to write a book.
Yes.
I know. Marriage is work. Before I got married, I used to look at someone celebrating 5 years. I'm like,
10 or 2.
5 years. People have been married for 50. Guys, if you get to 3 months, bake a cake and celebrate. So thank you so much, Polly Bakes, for the amazing chocolate mint cake you made for me. So if you need beautiful cakes, you can also contact Polly Bakes. Well, today I have an amazing couple on set. Beautiful people in this freezing Thika Road weather. Nowadays, I let people introduce each other. Who wants to go first? You.
Allow me to.
Yes, please introduce your wife to us.
Let me hear.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, you want to hear?
Yes, I want to hear this.
Okay.
Yes.
This is my beautiful wife.
Aww.
Very beautiful wife.
Yes.
In fact, I've said she's stunning. She's called Robai Muiruri. I got her from Sitam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Sitam Karen.
From Sitam Karen.
Sitam Karen. And,
You were shopping.
now we're staying in at the river somewhere there. We worship at Mavuno. We've been married for 16 years.
Ooh.
Tell me I'm wrong.
16 years and how many months?
Just 2 months.
16 years and 2 months.
Yeah, July 5th.
You need like a 6-tire cake.
Yes.
Polybex.
Polybex.
Yes.
Polybex, do something. 16 years.
Wow.
She's my everything.
Oh.
Yeah, because understand she's the one who brought us here. Everywhere I go, as long as I'm with her, she's my chauffeur. And it's because I'm okay, she'll say that. But I love the fact that she can drive. She knows 1 or 2 things about cars. I don't have to do much. She's awesome.
Oh.
She's awesome. And then I got she was Miss University International.
Tell us more.
Hey. No,
Please send photos.
my cousin sister. I remember one time we were in town. She said,
Hey, you're introducing me to.
"Hold on."
He's been waiting for the moment. Okay.
My cousin sister told me, "Mato, please take me to." They were having a university week at KCC. So I took her there. And looking at the paraphernalia, I didn't notice she's called Val. Val disappeared and went in the Catholic University place where they had their things going. And then she came with this lady.
Ooh.
She came and she said, "Mato, meet my friend Robai." I've been saying she should have said, "Mato, this is your wife."
Meet your wife.
Meet your wife.
That would have been it. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Meet your wife, you know. But she's been amazing. Ups and downs, yeah, but we've enjoyed our time together. Laughters, tears, and all.
You are 3 pages ahead. Tell us.
I'm supposed to introduce him. Goodness, it's so hard. I'm used to introducing me.
No, introduce him.
I've never introduced her.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is my first
time.
Yeah. Okay. He is Martin Muiruri Waweru, alias Mr. Kihara. He has a smooth one. Martin Muiruri is my husband, 16 years. We got married in 2008. He is a scriptwriter, has a very nice voice for radio. The face for TV, I'm not too sure.
This one has been married for 16 years. Don't try that. 2 years of marriage. Don't try that in your 1 year of marriage. This is 16.
My goodness.
But I love him very much. We like saying anapenda mchezo sana.
Oh, games or playing?
He loves.
No, growing up, that's what they said about me. Unapenda mchezo sana.
But I think kupenda mchezo, like we have a notebook that we've played Scrabble since 2008 when we got married, and I win. I've been winning. I'm the current champion. Even the other day, I shindered you.
What is Shindad?
Oh, okay.
English.
I defeated you. I defeated him. I'm the current reigning
champion.
World champion of Scrabble. He has taught me many games. So he enjoys games. He creates games. He does.
I love chess.
Yeah, he loves chess.
Chess.
I have refused to play against him.
To learn.
Yeah, to learn and to play against him. But he is a games guy. Yeah, and that's what he does.
So he's the one who created this one?
Yes, he's the creator of Sozo. And we'll be telling you more about this game later on. First, we need to know. We know a few things about how you met. Yeah, that's his version.
Yeah, that's his version. Oh, give us your version. The first day you saw him.
The day he's talking about, I don't remember seeing him. I was an exhibit. I had just won Miss University International, Miss University Kenya. Then I went to represent the country, so I won Miss University International. And therefore, when coming back, I was an exhibit at Catholic University.
Oh.
So I was at KICC.
Smiling.
as the other end, waving.
Waving and smiling.
Yeah, and just shaking
Did you enjoy
everyone's
it?
hand. Yes, it was a beautiful ride.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
beautiful ride. So I had... I that day I said hi to everybody.
Yeah.
He says he shook my hand and he kind of lingered. I don't remember that part. But then I saw him probably 2 months later, because that's when he got my number. And he called me and we tried to meet the first time. But back then, at Nando's there were phone booths.
Simu ya jamii.
His ancient Rock of Ages. Hata si simu ya jamii. Phone booth ya Telcom ile ya kufinya.
Oh.
So there were phone booths there. He was waiting inside Nando's. I was outside. And we didn't meet.
Yeah.
But thank God we also didn't meet that day because he had a line.
Wait. There are gaps here.
Oh, okay.
How did he get your number and why did he get your number?
From his story, which
He
I
can
have
tell
verified, he told his sister. His sister, I remember he was coming because he was bored in town.
Yeah.
And there was a university exhibition and his sister was working. So that's how he came to KICC.
Yes.
And that's how he saw me. He says he came back the next day because the exhibition was happening till Saturday. So this was on a Friday. He came back on Saturday, but Saturday I was exhausted. I'd taken the day off. So I wasn't there. He claims he gave someone his number, but he didn't think that person was going to pass it to me. So he called his sister because his sister was staying at the university.
Yeah.
And he asked her to get me his number.
Okay.
And the sister was like, I couldn't give you. You don't, girls don't call guys.
Yes.
So sister was smart and she got my number. So that's how she gave him.
Your number.
Yes. That evening he called. I'm like, that was too fast. Ubesha to me your number.
Who is this calling you?
Him.
Yeah, in your mind.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
didn't
so he
see
introduces himself. He's like, hi, my name is Martin. I was there at that nice voice.
I'm told I have a bedroom voice. Well, some guys told me that in school. At the university.
Bedroom voice.
Yeah.
You only needed to talk to her and
Please describe a bedroom voice or sitting
Barry
room
White,
voice.
for those who know
Baritone.
Barry White. I think it's the past. Barry White. So,
He's just saying he has a nice
a nice voice.
Okay.
And he knows it.
And he knows it.
no,
Okay.
You don't know.
I don't believe so.
People say.
People say.
Okay. Yeah, so he called, he introduced himself. And I'm a nice girl, so I listened. Yeah, then he kept calling and I got to know him. Yeah. This guy used to have credit. Nowadays, he doesn't call me.
16 years.
Kuna kunywa nyama.
Exactly. Martin.
Yes.
Why her?
Yeah.
Why?
Why did you look for her number?
Oh, now listen.
Yes.
Okay, she said 2 months later. It wasn't 2 months later.
Yeah.
It was just the following week when I called her. Listen,
Okay.
Rhoda asked me a question.
Yes.
Let me answer. Now, I've come back that Saturday.
Yeah.
She wasn't there. Of course, I'm disappointed. Then Val's small brother, who is also my cousin brother, Mark Anthony. Once he found out that I met Robai, he had read in the paper, there was a page, they wrote a story about her. So as I am continuing to talk to Val, Mark has gone to get the newspaper. And he comes back, shows me or shows us, this is Robai. I say, whoa, hey. But the one place that caught my heart in that article is the time when she was asked some question, and she said she's born again. I was not going to date anyone who's not born again. Because even me, I was newly born again, and you know how, guys, we have fire at that time. Singi uko tena sirudi sijui Nigeria kama ni wapi Misri. So that's what caught my attention about her.
Oh, so then you pursued. You had to get the number.
And the fact that she was a Miss University. And then she's born again. I went to get.
And then she's pretty.
I called my sister. Hey, she's very pretty.
Miss University meant pretty.
Very pretty. And then she's so humble.
Oh.
No, that's later, getting to know her. I gave my number to someone there at KCC. I knew this person was not going to give her. So I told my sister, hey, but they give Robai my number. I was the president of pre-university. I went.
You said University of Mismanagement.
See me in the
Okay.
They had elected me their president. So I was not used to can I have your number? What is that?
Everybody
was after you.
Yeah. In fact, I grew up with 3 boys. So talking to ladies was a bit unheard of. Hadukuwa na hizo skills, those small lines guys have. Sikuanga na hizo. That is one of the reasons I gave my sister my number to give her.
To call you.
It was not arrogance. It was just the way I've been raised. Okay, yeah. So she changed the script and told her Martin wants her number, which was her own story. But she knew it would work out well.
Yes.
So she got the number around 1 on Monday. Around 1 p.m. By 4 or 5, I'm calling that number. And she said, okay, according to me, she said, hey, that was fast.
I said that.
So I talked to her and she agreed to meet. I think we meet that Friday or Saturday.
I think maybe.
Yeah. So,
this we're trying to remember.
Yeah.
This is the year of the Lord 2004.
Friday, you remember sometime back then. Fridays,
Rodah might not remember.
Fridays, there was issues with
there was a time, once upon a time in the history of this nation, Friday afternoon networks jammed.
There was a lot of
phone calls didn't go through.
She was outside Nando's. I was inside. I'm waiting for her to come. A girl is not showing up. She's just outside. I'm inside with my poor eyesight. I can't. There's nothing I can do.
At this point, I didn't know he had MS or any issue. I didn't know.
But
he had said
she would have run away if she had seen me because I had the line.
Back then, they used to leave you with the line when you go for medication every day. So he had it all bandaged.
Okay.
Yeah, in my mind, I knew that's a dying person. So you don't walk around.
No, in fact, some relatives told her, mtu anakufa.
You have to explain that part for people who don't understand.
With
MS is multiple sclerosis.
Yes. That's what I have.
Which is a nerve condition that affects the brain and the spinal cord. So the nerve has the myelin sheath. The body attacks itself and then it eats up the myelin sheath that covers the nerves, and sometimes it breaks. So that's what MS is. It has no known cause and no known cure.
So it is from birth?
No.
People get it when they're older. He was,
I think, 2000.
Yeah, he was diagnosed in 2002. So I met him in 2004. So he's on this aggressive medicine where he has to go for anytime he has a relapse, he has to go for the injections. Like at that point, I think it was Olumedron you were still taking it. So he used to go every evening to hospital. Excuse me. To hospital, and then so because you're getting a 5-day IV, there's no need of removing. Nowadays
so it just stays there.
Yeah, the line thing. Nowadays they remove because it's dangerous, yes. But back then it was much easier. So that's what he had on that day. That the network was jamming. So 2 hours later I went home, he went home. At this point I don't know, he doesn't see. He's not seeing properly. So I did, we organized, and after a little bit phone calls back and forth, like I was there too. I didn't see you, didn't see me. Remember, I do not know his face.
Oh, you don't know his face. So
I'm hoping he knows me.
Yeah,
because he's the one.
No, he should know you. You are Miss?
No, at that time. No. I'm walking in town, I'm just in simple t-shirt and trouser. When he saw me, I had the crown, I was all dressed up. Yeah. So I'm hoping at this point that he's seeing me, he knows me, but he didn't.
So, because my sight is like that. Like now, even you, Rodah, I cannot see your eyes. I know you have 2 eyes, yes, but I can't see them.
What do you see?
I see your face and the place where the eyes are. I see the maybe a darker nini over here.
But is it because
when you talk, I see your white teeth. Like that, and I know the nose is above the mouth, you know.
Like if I came with somebody who looks almost like me, and he didn't see how I was dressed, he wouldn't be able to say that's Robai
until you speak.
Yes.
Or
now, something. With speaking, now I catch very fast
voices.
So with you, Rodah, especially with you, if you went somewhere and you changed. And you just walked over here, I would not say that is you. Imagine you just changed. But if you spoke, because now I've had you speaking, if you came and said something, I'd say, hey, that's Rodah. Like that.
So by the time you met,
so we met the next week. We organized to meet this next week. This time it was easier because now his sister Val we were leaving campus with her. We were coming to town. She's like, I'm also going to meet my brother. So we go. I was happy because she knows the brother.
Yes.
And she knows me. So at least there was introduction. So that's how
the first meeting
that was the
happened.
First meet. That's how the first meet happened. At this time he didn't have the line. So he was explaining to me that last week I had this, I was coming to meet you, then I go to hospital in the evening.
Okay, so when did it become official?
When did it? In 2004. So we are just talking. This is September, October, November. We are having conversation. So he tells me in October sometime that I think we should get married in 2008, and I'm like, that's 4 years. And then he gives me a date, July 5th. 2008.
Okay, Mato, why 4 years later?
Now there's this time. I'm praying. Oh no, I was sleeping. Sorry, I'm sleeping, and these numbers came to my. You know how it is. Some numbers came to me: 05, 07, 08. Now I woke up. I didn't know what that meant. 05. I tried to check the Bible. I had seen a time, Acts chapter 5. So I know 2 Timothy. I went, I checked. I even checked Acts, verse 5, verse 7, verse 8. They were not making sense until it hit me. This is how we write dates. Okay, hakuna kale ka nini, but 05, 07, 08, and I had a Nokia.
The smartphone then.
a smartphone. A Nokia 83 something, 8300 or something. So I put it there. It fell on a Saturday. On a Saturday. And then later I meet this lady. Now it's when I tell her, should we get married on that particular day?
Yeah.
Because to me, that was, you know how God does not, He's God.
Yeah.
He just does things.
And looking back, that was the perfect date. Like,
4 years.
yes. So at that point, and then the other interesting thing is, I'd been praying in Form 2. We were taught about boundaries in school.
Yeah.
And so one of the pastors then said, there's a reason the pastor says you may now kiss the bride.
Yeah.
He doesn't say you may continue. So that's what was preached when I was in Form 2. So I asked God to help me, because I got born again in Form 2, that I will get kissed on my wedding day.
Oh.
So to firm up that he's the one, he comes and tells me later. Now, I think me agreeing to that date, you had told me about that. So he comes and tells me, I'm not too sure. He was very jittery. He didn't know what would happen. So he's like, I don't know what this is, and I don't know how it applies to you.
Yeah.
But I had a straight voice telling me, do not kiss her.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't know what it means. I don't know, because he's coming. He has a past.
Yes.
Yeah, and he doesn't know how this would be. And I mean, it's just a kiss. He's like, yes. I told him, yeah, that's my prayer. That has been my prayer, and that's what. So by the time he's telling me about this date, I kind of now know that he hears God.
Yes.
Yeah, because that was very, very specific request of mine when I was in Form 2.
Yeah.
So this time I'm in campus, and he has had that, and then now he's hearing this. It was not bad. Plus, I was 21.
By the time you were...
In 2004, I was 21. So they're like, why are we rushing this marriage thing?
Oh, yeah,
4
you
years,
can wait.
I'd be 25. That's an age that I've always thought maybe after I can get married.
Yeah.
So that was how we knew the date, yeah.
Why did you say yes to him?
Those two things. For starters, he hears God. He had very specific that do not kiss her.
Yeah.
So he was willing to keep the boundaries with me. So that was number one. But number two, getting to know him, Mato is very generous. He will give you his everything, and he will go back because this is what he wants. And then we agreed on many things. Like, for instance, we knew that we would adopt, because I had wanted to adopt kids way before, and he also always wanted to do that. So we aligned in that path. And
I have questions.
Yes. And
why?
I grew up in a place where children used to be thrown. So I would ask my mom if we can bring one home and raise the child, and it wasn't possible. So I told her, when I grow up, when I have an opportunity, I will adopt. I will take care of this.
You didn't have a desire to give birth?
I fear pain.
Who told you it's painful? That thing is not painful. It's not.
Even the Bible says
It's painful. Oh, so it's just by choice?
Well, biologically it didn't happen, but I think God just puts us in places where He already prepares us because He knows how the future is going to be. So I remember even the last PMCC, Pastor Ken, I think it was Pastor Ken then, where you have a one-on-one with a pastor before the wedding. He asked us, what if God doesn't allow you to bear children? And we looked at each other and we said, we will adopt. Like it was a no-brainer. We will adopt. Yeah. So because we aligned on those paths, like adoption, I knew I really wanted to one day homeschool our children.
Yeah.
He was okay with that. This was way before we got married. So most of the decisions we made is what we are living by, but we made them in those 4 years. Yeah. And we agreed and we aligned. So yes, that's why him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you just agreed the 4 years?
Yes, we used to do every first Saturday?
I think either Saturday.
Yeah, first Saturday, not
Saturday.
Sunday. Yeah. Every first Saturday of the month, we used to go to Arboretum. to pray and write and agree and discuss.
Wow.
So we had a whole, we had other
You should
dates
go
in
there
between.
after this.
We have to go and debrief. Yeah, so that's where I know we did most of the agreements and most of the conversations. That was our nice boardroom. Yeah.
Now let me become the society and the church.
Yes.
We, even for the man, we have expectations on having children. Even for the woman, you get married and we look at your tummy,
like,
we look bado, and we tell the man, hey, what's not happening?
We were told to stop playing Scrabble only. Play other games.
Oh man, there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. The pressure. He has been called Baba Zero.
Baba Zero. People forget.
I'm shocked that you're really laughing about it.
Rodah, people forget.
Yeah.
It is God who gives you children.
And he has many
it's
ways
not
of giving.
the guys or whatever, or your whatever. It is God who gives you children. If he decides, like Abraham, hautapata sahi. Utangoja mpaka. I'm saying, as I wait, let us adopt.
Yeah.
Because that was in our
plan.
Let us adopt these ones. You know, because we would love for these kids, and they're so nice. These kids also do grow in a home.
Yes.
You know, not at the out there.
And they're being homeschooled.
Imagine.
I know.
Okay, she trained to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Most teachers cannot even homeschool their own children.
True. But you see, the other thing I tell people, and we have gone through the medical, because again, I think it's foolish to just sit in one position and not go through the medical side, because God has also allowed for that. And we have been through the challenges and the pits, so to speak, of the medical side of trying to understand why it is not possible at this time. But I tell people, like, I've always just wanted to be a mom. And I am a mom.
You are?
Yeah. So
a mother of?
3.
3, yeah.
Yeah, 3. And Mato on his phone, he has names of 50 children that that not a children's home, children that we would have.
No, this is
name.
No, we have taken this thing too fast. We have not even wedded.
Yeah, but we are at the so
I mean, it's like we are wedded.
Yeah.
It's like tumefika already.
But no, you've not kissed.
Oh
no.
You've not even
the bride.
How was your wedding?
Wow.
Our wedding was miraculous. Like the Lord provided to the T. We are thinking, Mato, you don't have. He had a job then. I didn't have a job, did I? No. I just quit. So how are we going to even raise? So we got a lady who was going to sort us food, 90 bob per plate. Food, back in the day when food was cheap. It was 90 bob per plate, and it was just a very nice rice, chapati, stew, the usual. And 100 people would be okay. I'm sure we'd be able to get that money. Well, our wedding had over 1,000 people. And the menu was not what we were thinking of the 90. I just remember being told, tomorrow we're going to see the caterer. Okay, we go. We see the caterer and like, sawa. No, just make that what? 400 shillings per plate. Like, okay. So you're going to, the only thing that we paid for in our wedding was my dress that I hired. 13,000 Kenya shillings, and I bought shoes for 1,000. That is the only money we spent. So the date was, and we have seen God be that consistent in our lives, like to the T.
Yeah.
He has always gotten you got to this point. Okay, so this is how I have made the way. You get to this other place. This is how I have made the way. Like stuff for God, we normally say, even as late as yesterday, stuff for God, you don't sweat.
You don't sweat.
Yeah. there's of course the normal challenges, but when God is in it, there is that peace. And so that is how we had over, like, we got to the
Where did these people come from? Is it because you are Miss?
No.
Oh.
Friends of parents, both sets of parents, neighbors, our friends, church. Yes. So we had one of those weddings, like you enter in and then it's cops at the gate guarding, as in cops from Hadi police station. Wako hapa wanachunga. We had those weddings.
Okay.
Hey, Buambia Rola, I wrote for you.
Oh yeah, he wrote a song.
Sing.
He can't sing. No. We are not no.
We cannot. No. We are underusing that voice.
I cannot sing.
You can't hold that.
I tried to sing. I was at the Baptist.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn how to write songs.
Yeah.
So nikaingiza kwa kwaya.
Alifukuza, aliambiwa
Director aliniambia tu pitch.
He can't.
I knew that was my ticket.
So you wrote for her song?
Yes, he wrote.
Oh yeah,
He has written
it's on.
Linda Orota did the
Yeah,
song.
Linda.
Okay, which one?
Yes, Siku ya leo nabubujika moyoni mwangu.
Nabubujika, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I wrote that
You wrote that
in
song.
English.
She translated it.
She translated in Kiswahili and did the chorus.
Like
And
siku ya leo, siku njema, nasimama mbele. I forgot that.
It was written for you.
It was.
You forgot it.
I was not supposed to memorize. I was supposed to hear. Yeah, so yeah, he wrote the song.
Beautiful
it was
song.
Organized. That's what.
You know that song?
No, It
You don't know?
played. It played.
Nabubujika by Linda Orota.
I will go look for it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song.
Your first year of marriage.
Yes.
How was it?
Our first year of marriage, we got married in July. September, I was in theatre.
Not acting. She was having medical issues. You know,
Oh,
not
theatre. Actually, me, I saw theatre.
Theatre
Not
like the
theatre arts.
No, not theatre arts. Wait, I was in hospital.
Theatre hospital.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got married in...
It has been a rough, any beginning.
What are we doing in the theatre?
I had fibroids, so they had to be removed. And I'm like, at 25.
Yeah.
It's just been a month married. So did theatre and that was good. Thank God. So our first year was marked with that, trying to learn and understand. Martin used to walk. He would walk to take a matatu. He had another nice walk.
Like this.
At some point he tells me this story how he was walking and a drunkard was also walking. They were walking in opposite
South
directions.
B. Yeah.
When we lived in South B. And then the drunkard just looked at him like, said, "Hi, you're one of us. I know you."
He told
Because
me,
of the walk.
He told me, Nipombe, and then he died. And then now me, because of who I am, I can't be, I hope he would stop. But anyway, at the end of the year, it was
Yes. So our first year was nice.
He used to work.
Yes. He was working.
I was working for my dad.
Yes, his dad had employed him. So he used to go to the office all the time, the 5 days a week, and I also got a job. Yeah, except now when we're in hospital. But it was a beautiful year. I think we've had series of things happening up and down, good, bad, that it's difficult to now say year one was like this, year two was like
this. You know the seasons.
We know the seasons, yes.
What has been your best season?
Okay, there are so many. It's so hard to pick.
It's hard to pick.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick.
Now let's just go through the process.
Yes.
Once you were done with the surgery, things were okay?
Yes, things were okay. But then after I was done, it was Martin's turn. So we got to a point where he got a relapse.
Oh.
Yeah, so, and with the relapse meant hospitalized. Well, you are not hospitalized. But the doctor visits, like we have seen doctors more than we would like to see them. we had a relationship with the neurologist that we now got for over 10 years. Yeah, over 10 years. And he got to a point where he took it upon himself to teach Martin Kikuyu, because he realized he doesn't understand Kikuyu. He doesn't speak it. So
I understand, but I don't speak.
You understand? Toreda mai. Yes, you understand?
It's a mother tongue.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a mother
My mom
tongue.
died when I was a year old.
Yeah, so
That's what I tell guys.
That's his excuse.
Yeah, that's why I don't know mother tongue.
yeah. So Professor K used to teach us neurology in Kikuyu.
Yeah.
So he would be speaking about lesions in Kikuyu. So yes, so we've had lots of that. I went on to get another surgery in 2012. Yeah, and of course that was a season. But I think one of the best moments also for me was just bringing our children home.
Oh.
Yeah, like our firstborn came when we were a year. She was born when we were a year married. And then she came home when we were about 2 years, 2.5 years married. Yeah.
How is that process like?
We have 3 different scenarios with our children, like 3 different levels of adoption. Our first child is our relative, so she's kinship adoption. Second child is mother offer. Her mother gave her up and offered her up for adoption. And then our third child is abandoned, so his adoption is also different. Yeah.
How old are they now?
Our oldest is 15, second she's 7, and our youngest is 4.
About to be 5 in November.
Yeah, big boy.
The 15-year-old, does she know?
All our children know. We have disclosed. It's their reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they know that they were born from our heart. Like, we love them. They all know they have 2 mummies and 2 daddies. Some of them don't know who the other mummies are because we also don't know them. But then our oldest knows her mum and dad, and they communicate and they keep in touch.
Yeah,
Our
the older
job is-
one knows her mom and dad.
Yeah. The second
Small
one,
girl, the second one,
we have a name.
knows she has a mother and a father.
Yeah.
But not met.
Not
Never
met,
met.
because until she's of age, then we can hand her the file, and if she would like to, we help her find her mother, because we believe it's important that you also get to know, even if it's just for curiosity.
Just
The question
to
of
bring
who am I?
closure
The closure.
So
the boy doesn't know.
Yeah, the boy is abandoned.
The boy was
his would
abandoned.
Would be hard to trace.
Hey, today I have so many questions that I don't know how to ask for you guys. I wish it was live. You ask for yourself. So, your work is just to...
We're custodians. Our job, you see, we say that God has given us this opportunity to partner with Him to bring up these human beings and in everything else that He's allowed us to do and to be. Just like us, we got older, we left our parents. We call our moms and our dads once a month, once a week, once a day.
Yeah.
They're not with us. So even this, our little people, they will go.
Yes.
And when they go, they will forever be in our hearts. But they will forever be our children. And this, wherever we are, will always be home.
Yeah.
But should our firstborn go and now live with her mom and bond with her mom and hopefully get her other siblings, imagine it's okay. Because our job
Am I born again?
You see, God ametupatia kazi. He has given us the responsibility.
Yes.
The children that you have biological children. Yours, si wako, ni wa Mungu. Hawa watoto, ni wa Mungu. You are just a custodian to make sure these ones, although they have your name, you are to bring them in the right way. And God has given you, told you, okay, train up a child in the way they should, like that. Amekupatia everything on how to raise these children that you're calling your children and they are mine. amekupatia how to bring them up.
Yeah.
And it's for you to bring them up. And you will do that to a particular point, and they will both leave.
But it wasn't always easy getting to this point.
Oh.
It wasn't always, oh, no problem, you just come and then now you will go. It wasn't. It has taken a few years and a few conversations and soul searching to get to the point you're like, you know what? We need to eventually disclose to these children. They need to know who they are and whose they are.
Yes.
Also, even as they know all that, we need to know that they are our children that God has given us.
Yeah.
And He is the one who owns. We just manage. So as we manage these children, how does God want us to manage these children? How does God want us to discipline? How does God want us to teach them, to train them? What is the purpose in life? How should we panel beat to lead them to that path that God is calling them to be? So it has not been easy, and especially with our oldest, because it was always like, because you know your mother, you know your father, your mom picks you up for the weekend and brings you back and goes forth. Sometimes you're like, you know what, Muchukwe, take her and go, or let her stay, she's not living. But then at the end of the day, you know, adoption and taking care of children is all in the best interest of the child, not in your best interest. Because sometimes we realize that at some point, because we even ask each other, we are doing this thing in our best interest, so that we can be seen as Mama Nani and Baba Nani. Hey, best interest of the child, what is it? And so that was our turning point. And now we confidently and comfortably even talk with them. And like, you know what, yes, one day we will go and we will meet mom. We call the mom by the initial, mom so and so for the second child. One day we will meet her. Do you think she will want to meet me? We think she will. We hope she will. We pray she will. But we also know another story that we cannot yet tell them. So, but it is our job to just help manage and be there.
What's the greatest challenge in adoption?
The other day, not too long ago, the kids started to fight. Like, not fighting physical, but words. We anasema hivi about huyu, wewe uliokotwa. You know, then it gets to a point, now you have to step in. Unasema, it doesn't matter uliokotwa ama ulizaliwa or whatever, ama ni stroke ilikuleta, it doesn't matter. You are our children. You're born in our hearts. You're not born in the normal way. You're born in our hearts. And that is the best place. You know, we try to let them understand that. And pole too, they're getting to...
They're becoming friends and tighter. But that part of getting them, because you see they've come in at different stages. They didn't all come together. So this one saw this one coming, and so the other one is like, even you, I know where we went to get you from. And the one big
normal sibling.
The girl is telling the boy, where to the kurudisha where we got him. And we get a girl.
So that's been a challenge. For me, another challenge has been... even though we have overcome it as a couple, the adoption process, like information is there now. It was never there before, and now it's a bit more open. So there's info. There's most people think it's a very, very expensive process. They think it's just for the rich, because that's how we used to see people around Yaya Center, white people pushing African children in strollers. So that's the idea of adoption that we have.
May I interject?
Yes, please.
Caucasian.
She knew what I was going to say. They're no white people.
Caucasian.
They're no black people.
So we have successfully self-represented.
Wow.
And it's not expensive. I mean, we spent what, 30,000 for the entire it's cheaper. As an adoption, it's cheaper than giving birth. It's less painful, it's cheaper, and then you have a human being there ready. You just decide if you want a baby or older, no diapers.
Yeah.
The first one came at 1 year.
The first time she came to our house, she was 6 months, but she fully came to live with us when she was 1.5 years. The second one was mother offer, so we met her when she was 2 months old.
Aww.
Tiny little human. And then our youngest was 2 months shy to 2 years, me? He was 2 months shy to 2 years. He's usually the one who works out the maths.
Okay. 1 year and 10 months. 10 months.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. So they came in different stages.
Yes, they came different stages, so we get different experiences. Yeah.
How are we looking at you too?
How are you looking at us?
As the society. I am here representing the society. Do we judge you?
Yes.
Oh.
A lot.
What?
Oh, there's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. No.
And then, but we're at a point where we don't care, actually. So.
No, Rodah, I can't say the society judges us. Relatives.
We are part of the society.
Relatives judge us. No, I mean, James will not judge me.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, he was
so kind.
Good job. Relatives. Wow. Unasikia wengine wakwambia watu kucheza hizi mchezo.
Yeah, stop playing these games.
Stop playing these games. Play the other games in the bedroom.
Are we still expecting biological children?
Mato is, I am not.
By the grace of God. You see, and I told her, and she knows about it.
Yeah.
There was a time, I even got a name of that girl who we will have. I got the name of the girl and I shared with her. And I told her, don't see, there's the way you guys can block everything from her. Yeah. So I told her, don't block. Let God be God.
Yeah.
Because I believe this is Him assuring me of something. It will come to pass. Yeah, it will come to pass.
I recently told him.
I don't know if to say amen because it's one-sided.
No, I finally told him I will ride on his faith. He can keep it and maintain it at that part. Meme, niko tu sawa, I'm fine.
You're fine, you're living your life.
I am enjoying my life, yes.
But we are still, now I'm the society, we are still judging you.
Yes, the society is, I've gotten things like, you don't want yours even one. I'm like, I have my 3. I have my 3. You don't want even one? Like, no, I have 3. Like, okay. The other question is, people are very blunt. I mean, they are very shy. So they try to come up in nice ways. The ones who get to talk to you. Yeah. Like, so is it your problem or his problem? And my honest answer is, we don't know.
It is our problem.
Well, it is our problem, but we also don't know who is responsible because we have done all tests and all tests have come back normal. So we do not know. But then the other thing is, initially when I was getting married to Martin, they were like, why is she getting married? We already mentioned how a relative told my sister that, you guys, you need to stop Robai from getting married because she's getting married to a sick guy and the guy will die.
But he wasn't on a wheelchair then?
No, he was walking. In fact, he was walking. Then we progressed. He used a cane, one with one stick. Then he got a tripod. Yeah. Then we've been moving from glory to glory. Now he rides a Bugatti. It's in the boot. He has a wheelchair. Yeah, that we use as and when. And other paraphernalia that we have to use when we need to use. Yeah, but it's been, he's been stable, plateau, stable, deep. So we've been on a downward trend physically, but it's okay.
How do you manage that pressure when someone tells you, for the stories I know personally, he was okay physically, or the woman was okay. Then in marriage, something happens. Then they end up on a wheelchair. Now we can't say anything. But for you, you knew before. You walked in it.
Yeah. So the first time he told me about MS, his sister told me, anakuanga mgonjwa. He's normally sick.
Yeah.
So I thought malaria. Flu, those things, yeah. And then I hear MS and I'm like, I've never heard of MS.
Yes.
I go on the internet and the first thing I read is about 2 million people in the world have MS. So I'm like, hey, 1 in a million. Yeah, you maybe have a chance of being 1 in a million. Yeah, so I read that and I'm like, what? But I love learning, so I devour, I dive in, I read all papers that there was at that time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, God, do you still want me to go?
Yes.
To move forward? And so I get the nod from God. And like, yeah, it's sour. So whatever happens. God, you have assured me. You have assured me we are walking.
Yeah.
Sour, let's walk.
Let's walk.
Yeah, and so we've been walking. So I got into it fully knowing that this is what is happening. Has it been challenging? Yes. Oh God, there are days you're like, find your way. I am not helping you walk.
And you guys are still married. You know, married is already work.
Yes.
Marriage is already
then now
work.
there's caregiving.
Now there's caregiving.
There was a night I woke up and then he startled me at 3 a.m. He's in the toilet. Dude fell down, toilet fell, it broke. And he's on the floor and he's calling my name.
I just love the way they're laughing at themselves. You know, if I laugh, I'll be rude.
No, it's okay.
You can laugh.
I can laugh. Thank you.
You know,
I find that caregiving is a very unseen role.
Oh, yes.
It's a role that is, you are expected to do so much, but you are also not seen, but also you are hit and judged harshly. For example, one time Martin fell. And so I don't know, I was telling a friend that, he fell. And then she asked me, where were you when he was falling? I'm like,
oh, imagine that's the first question that came to my mind.
Yes, where was I when I was falling?
so sad.
Yeah, it's so sad. Like,
and then the first time someone asked me, Robai, how are you doing? I cried because I had never been asked that question. Like, I didn't know how to answer. I didn't know I was supposed to actually feel something. And I was asked, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I have a life. Goodness. I cried.
There is me.
I crowed. Oh,
you crowed.
I crowded. That time we are at the bus stop, I'm seeing her off. Oh, I crowded.
You guys are still married. As I was saying, marriage is still happening. So the normal marriage challenges.
The normal marriage challenges like refusing to fold his clothes or hang his clothes.
Even now, imagine. With a mess.
But you've always had a mess.
She wants you to
fold my tops, do my what? Me, I throw them in the
his wardrobe. He pushes them there and then he starts looking for something. And then once in a while he'll take them and hang them.
Yeah, when I'm encouraged and I feel like, but I will do.
He'll do because he's very neat. He's very black hangers facing one direction, and that's what we do. Yeah. So, but then I don't know, MS, laziness. He's just so yes. There are those challenges. Definitely the usual marriage challenges, squeezing toothpaste in the middle, kind of things. And then there is MS.
There is MS.
Yes, and then there is children. Yeah, so the normal family things. So, but God has been gracious because hospitalization, there's a time he was hospitalized. I drove from Mata to Athi River and I didn't know how I drove. Because when I took him to hospital in the morning, we were carrying him with the office chair and some people helped me. He doesn't even know how he got to hospital because it's like he doesn't even remember that part. And so put him in the car and the children, thank God a friend took the children and then took him to hospital. I took him to hospital. So of course I just knew Mata emergency side. That's where I went, and they took him in. We admitted him, everything. But then I was supposed to spend the night at a friend's place in South Bay. But I was like, I don't have clothes. I haven't arranged to come. I knew when we are leaving the hospital, I knew we will not come back with him. Because the way he was unwell, this one was for admission.
Yeah.
But then I wasn't sure I'll find him the next morning. So we've had those. Yeah, I thought I wasn't too sure. So I was like, God, you know what? If this is it, sour, just help me and help the children. But if it's not it, he will live and not die to declare the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. So, but I don't know how. I still say I don't know how I got home, because I know God got behind the wheel and he drove, and it was at night. I got home and it left in the morning. So there's all those challenges. There was a time our daughter was doing KCPE and we were at a friend's place. So it's a new environment.
Yeah.
So he gets out of the bed to go to use the bathroom. Guy falls down and he misses the edge of the wardrobe by a whisker. And I saw him wake up, because again he's also not very quiet, silent with his walker when he wakes up. So he woke up, I heard him, I saw him go down, and there was nothing I could do. So I at some point my heart was always in my stomach, because every time I'll just be ishtukaing. I don't know the English word for scared. Yeah. So there's been all those challenges. Of course, now it's come with a few other issues. Like now I'm on pressure meds, but it's being managed. But I know it's been there before, but it's been triggered. But the caregiving journey can be quite lonely also. Because he mostly doesn't have a life. I mostly do not have a life, so both of us, we're each other's lives. And sometimes he bores me, and I bore him. So
what happens then?
What happens when he bores me? We've learned to kind of give each other space. He'll be doing his stuff, I'll go do my stuff. I craft, I do jewelry, and I've recently restarted that. But it got to a point, like the last 3 years was bad, that I forgot even my favorite color. I did not craft. I did not. I just survived and existed, and he existed. But through all, looking back now from this side, I'm like, God, you literally carried us. Yeah. So
how does conflict look in your marriage?
Hey, how does it look?
Conflict.
Yeah. How do you fight?
You see, we
You fight fair? No.
We don't fight unfair. We fight fair. You know, hakuna ati sijuta kichwa yako inafanana na nini.
No insults.
No insults. It's just maybe you say, come out of hivyo basi kaa, you know, like that.
No,
I am not doing that.
If you're not helping me to do this, sawa, weka huko.
Yeah.
You know, me, I'll do whatever I can to maybe get on the bed and you know, because I know she's tired also, and it gets to her that she's with me. In fact, there was a time my health was very bad, and I was telling you,
Sorry. Sorry.
oh boy. I was telling myself I wouldn't cry. But there was that.
Which time?
There was a time I was telling her that I was feeling she's
It's okay. Is it that day you were going to let you die? Yeah, there was a time There's a time he told me, I just release him, he dies. Yeah.
You know, I was feeling... I was ready to die, but Robai is not allowing me to die.
Oh. So he was at a bad place.
Yes, we have gone through the depressive states, the depressive stages. And like for him, I tell him I think it's harder being a man who is unwell.
Yeah.
I think we are used to women. Women can be sick. And the rest of the women will bundle around us and they will try to make our life comfortable. But it's understandable. But for a guy who is unwell, for starters, you lose friends. So, and then if you call people, they are looking at you as how can we help? How can we alleviate whatever it is? And I understand they're coming from that place. But then sometimes all he wants is just a guy to
talk to and play
and just be silly. Yeah. There was a time I was fixing the car. The coolant was down. The car had an issue with the radiator, and then also the spark plugs, and there was some misfiring. So I'm the one who comes to open the hood, and I'm like, there's a misfiring, coolant is down, reservoir is not bringing back, or you put and you're seeing the bubbling. And sometimes it feels very sad because he's the one who needs to be doing these things. There are times like when now we received the boxes for Sozo, I had to lift them and go take them. And he's seated there, and in my mind I'm like, oh, please don't feel bad, because ideally he's the one who's supposed to be doing this. So of course that takes a toll on your mental health. And our saving grace has been God.
That was my next question. How do you remain sane?
How do we remain sane? For starters, we have children we have to take care of.
Oh, yeah.
And we do our best to protect them in the best way we can. So we shield them. Like, they have seen him fall a few times. And the worst fall they saw him was it in July, April, when you broke your teeth?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in April, I think it was April, because the kids had closed school. We were at a friend's house. So Martin missed a step. I was just turning into the kitchen. He missed a step. The next thing I heard was commotion, and he was on the floor. And when I looked at him, he was nose bleeding. And and he broke his teeth.
The two of them.
Yeah, the two of them broke. And he was there, and he was just holding his head, and he couldn't move. This was a recent fall. Well, he's fallen a few times after that also. But that was the last, the bad one, that the children saw him, and I couldn't protect the children. So normally, protect the children, help Martin. But they saw it. They saw blood. They were so scared. They wondered if their father was dying. He didn't know. And for a moment, when we got him up and managed to stop the bleeding, he was now calm. We were not too sure how he's doing, and we made it to hospital. We are grateful to God. We went to the dentist. No, we went the next day when he felt much better, and we saw that he could actually, there was no concussion, nothing, like nothing has broken. So there's been those moments. There's been more embarrassing moments for him. Like, there's been many embarrassing moments. There are times I've actually not been nice to him. You know, like, we are fighting, but because I am so frustrated, he's so frustrated, I am not nice. When you look back and we normally discuss, you're like, hey, next time that one was below the belt. Don't do that. Or next time I wish you told me this. So now we are talking to each other, like, he'll do something and I'll be like, not coming from a bad place, you give the disclaimers. I am just trying, but I think this is what you did. I think you should have done this.
Yeah.
Then it's taken easy. And so we are seeing and we are knowing that we are fighting from the same side. We are not each other's enemy.
Yeah.
We are fighting a common enemy. So the stepping back, the keeping quiet, going to another room, he'll say something like, I know you're gearing up for a fight. I'm not ready to fight. Let's stop this conversation.
Oh, he sees it.
Yeah, let's seize it now. When we come back later, temperatures will be down.
Yeah. That is how fighting looks like.
So in the past, we've not talked to each other for a few days. Okay, well, I have not talked to him. He tried to talk to me. Yeah, but in the past, nowadays we don't. Do we ever felt such fights nowadays, Eve? Of me keeping quiet for too long?
You stopped.
Yeah, I grew up.
Yeah. Marriage does that. So if I see a perfect picture of for better, for worse, right?
For better, for worse. We usually joke, Lord God, we've had worse. Now can we have better?
Oh.
Yeah, but God has been faithful. We have looked through the journeys and through the steps and through even being here today. We have seen how God has held our hands, because the number of places Mato has not hit his head, there is no other explanation. Like his angel is always working full time. Just turns his head a little bit. The number of accidents that we've had, the number of falls, the number of provision, the number of things that we have seen and done, there's no other explanation.
Now he's not working?
No.
You are homeschooling your children?
Yes.
Where is the money coming from?
We are grateful to God that Martin's dad still gives him a stipend.
Okay.
Yeah, but also I make jewelry, and now the game that Mato created, that's also what now we are selling to do ends meet. But God has also given us people who are, you know, we say, Mato used to tell me kitambo, Robai, I know God loves everyone. Yeah. But I think he loves me a little bit too much.
Oh.
Robai used to tell me that. God has provided for us in ways that, like last month, someone just texted and they're like, how much is your rent? So we're just chatting. A random person, like totally random. So we tell her and she's like, kidogo MPESA. Yeah, that's for your rent. You're like, Jesus, is this the way you deal with your people? The wheelchair Martin is using now, we needed a wheelchair when we got to that point. And they're like, God, how we need a wheelchair. So we put on social media, on Facebook, and we got one that became rickety quite quickly. And then a friend, the mother was unwell. She was the brother, he was coming from the States. So he came to visit the mom. And the wheelchair, he came with a wheelchair because he was like, you guys, those things that you're being sold for, they are not proper ones. So he came with a wheelchair, and then the wheelchair was used to transport the mom from the hospital to the home because now she's going to hospice. And then from the car to the house. Yes. That's the only time it was used. Sadly, the mom died like 4 or 5 days later. And that's a wheelchair Mato got. Like God had known that this lady will not be here, but let me use this opportunity to get Martin a wheelchair. And that's how he got a wheelchair. So our lives, many times, usually what I do is every month I ask God, what's the strategy for making money this month for us?
Oh.
Yeah.
He gives you the daily bread he talks about.
It is literal daily bread. And I'm like, God, what's the strategy? And sometimes he has told me, like I was telling him last month, remember, I was telling him, God told me, I will not provide the usual way. I will do it in ways that you cannot think about. And I'm like, okay. And some months he's told me I will use people. Some months he's told me, you will sell. Or you will get the clients. So it's been that way every single day of our life. So I used to worry a lot, but nowadays we don't worry. Yesterday, Martin, we made a payment for something yesterday, and Martin told me, I was not worried. I just knew God will
provide.
And God provided. Wow. Yeah, so that's how we do.
Before we get there, maybe both of you can share, because most of the people who watch this are married people.
Yes.
So I need to know what has kept your marriage strong, even with the challenges.
There was a time, some time back, Robai, I was a house husband. I was not working, she was not working. So I was, they used to call me a house husband. Society.
Yes.
And this time I was ironing. So I coined this acronym, IWALY.
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 It says, I will always love you.
Oh.
So,
yeah. Every time he writes to me anything, sends me a text, calls me, we talk, comments on anything I'm doing, it will always end with IWALY.
So it's like, I know she was given to me by God. There's no other way to describe it. Of all people, me, Ayabana. Apana.
But you're a good guy. I normally tell him, I've been asked before why I still stay with him.
Yeah.
And I told him, sometimes I actually forget he has MS. Like, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's my friend. He's my best friend. He's a human being who is complete and is a good guy.
Yeah.
So why I'm still with him and why I will always stay with him till death do us part is because he's my friend.
Yeah.
And he's a good guy. And this guy loves God. Mato goes through the Bible, and I'm like, now it's audio Bible. Kitambo he used to have, when I met him, he had that big Bible, large print, and he used to have magnifying lenses that he will read like this. So each year Martin goes through the Bible.
Yeah. Oh.
Cover to cover he reads. Each month he goes through the book of Psalms and the book of Proverbs. And now we are doing a challenge with him where we are going through the Old Testament in 4 months. We did the one month New Testament with him, and it's individually. Martin loves God.
Yeah.
He loves God. He loves people. He loves me. Like, he will give the world for me. Yeah. So that one, at least I know that one. I can't have it any other way. Yeah.
If you were to talk to someone who is also a caregiver and they're just feeling like enough is enough, I'm done, what encouragement would you give?
My encouragement would be the why. Why are you doing this? Because I've heard before that tables could turn.
Oh, yes.
If tables could turn, would I want Martin to take care of me the way I'm taking care of him? Also, why am I doing this for him? Why, like you say, there are people who get in and then disease gets them.
Yeah.
But I got in knowing.
Yes.
So my why is, I knew. I knew it was going to go down. I still trust God for healing. In fact, I tell him I'm looking forward to the day he'll drive me. He has taught me to drive, by the way. I drive, yes. But back in 2008, he would be like, tunaenda. He even took me the day I went for driving test. Took me to nikiingia kwa lori. So even on the road, he has always been there all through. So why am I doing this for him? And I would just like to encourage a person going through this is why. Why did you start it? And what is causing you to stop? The setbacks are many. The discouragement is a lot. The tears, oh God, you cannot imagine the number of tears. But we have found a way of finding joy. even the most mundane things that happen that are not supposed to be laughed at.
Yeah.
But we have found to have joy in that. But also, I am recently rediscovering myself, because in the process of caregiving, it is very possible to get lost in the entire process. And by rediscovering myself is, I have Martin as my friend, but I also have a set of girlfriends whom I laugh with, because he doesn't understand everything girly.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
So I have a set of friends whom we regularly meet and just catch up and do nothing. Sometimes we even have just Kesha and it.
The support system.
Yeah, so the support system on that side. I've also restarted crafting, because I teach crafts. I jewelry making, I braid hair, sewing, hand stitching, knitting, crocheting, those things I do teach. And so I had taken a break for like 3 years, but I have now restarted, and I'm deriving joy in doing the things, because that's how I relax. Yeah, so by doing the things that I'm doing. So I have recreated this thing that I'm doing, but also finding a way of even just generating an income. Because I find that when you're dealing with disease and then there is no money and you are trying to find ways of making money, the levels of depression just dip. But then if there's a way that you are also useful in terms of making an income, even if it's there, like I normally say that I was accused once of not wanting a job, not taking up a job. And I was like, even if I took up a job today, and I've held jobs even when Martin was working, I wouldn't be able to flourish at the workplace, because when I leave Martin at home, I am not sure if he slipped. Did he fall? Was he able to get himself up? Has he had food? Because now it's hard for him to even go and put food in the microwave, open the fridge and remove food. Has he eaten? So I will not even be helping there, but I can do work remotely if it involves me taking remotely, or a one-day thing I go do and then I come back home. So those are some of the things that I do. And it has also saved us, because we have tried caregivers before and it is not cheap. We have tried to have a caregiver for him and it is not cheap. So it is okay. It is okay that I'm also able to do this for him. So encouragement to caregivers is, I know what it is. I feel you. I know it is not easy. But hold up. Just hold up. One more time. One more time. Because it is usually that one more time that gives you the strength to do it one more time and one more time.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for that. I asked about the key to a healthy marriage. What did you answer?
You did.
Me.
Did I? Both of you. We wind up with that one. The key to a healthy marriage. After 16 years, someone is getting married tomorrow. What advice would you give them? Yes.
Do you remember that board that you made? This guy is kind of romantic. He has things. He has to things. He makes things move. But anyway, there was a huge board that he made when it was oversized for our house.
You say.
Yeah, okay. And our daughter, our oldest, was asking about it the other day. But it is what we go by. God first, me and him, and then our children, and then everyone and everything else. Yeah, so for us, that is the hierarchy. It's God, me and him, our children, and then everyone and everything else.
That is the key.
Yeah, for
you want
us.
to add something?
I think it was yesterday. I was just thinking, even today I told you, reasons why I think guys split. It's because now me, I'm healthy and everything. I'm working. She's also working. So me as a guy, I'm maybe tired of her. I'll just tell her, it's been real, now dog, because I can stand on my own feet.
Yeah.
Me right now, I can't stand on my own 2 feet.
There's a time, sorry to hack Katisha. There's a time he said, Robai, if you go, I'm following you.
Remember that to another guy.
He moved out of his marriage. I'm following you.
There's no gap. We shouldn't have any gap. As a married couple, we shouldn't have any gap. And I think where now people, like I'm saying, well-to-do, they're okay. You find that they have many gaps. So there's a lot of chances hata ukiniwacha mi niko sawa. Hata nikienda mi niko sawa. You see, unaenda sawa, enda. Tutatupiana mikono hivyo.
Then another thing I've remembered, sorry to cut it short, is trust. For me, and he tells me, because I'm the one who lives in the house most of the time, he tells me that I know when you go, you're okay, you'll come back. And one of the things that for us has been the foundations that were laid. Because I normally tell him, like, Mato, you are able to wait for me to kiss me for the first time in 4 years. Honestly, there isn't anything else that you can't wait for. And he knows that I was also able to wait for him. So there isn't anything else. And so because of that foundation, it's easy. Like, we have never had any reason not to mistrust each other. We've never had any reason not to. He doesn't even look at my phone. My phone has the smallest font, but he can access my phone if he wanted to. But he doesn't have a reason, and I don't even have a reason to look at his phone unless I need something from his phone. But financially, he would be like, Tukana, how much MPESA? How much do we have? Then I tell him, like, oh, yeah, okay. Occasionally, he would be like, so how did we use the other money we had? Or, because we've always had our finances the same, like on the table. We've always discussed it. We've always had one account. We've always had.
I think, sorry to interject, that is the other thing. Me married to Robai, I have my own account. She has her own account. She does her own thing. Me, I do my own thing. It automatically just leaves room for mistrust.
The gaps that you're talking about.
Those my gaps. But if you come together, over there, say you're one now, pastor says this is Mr. and Mrs. whoever. Have one account. Don't have.
But we used to have our pocket money also. Like, you have your money that
you can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want to. If you want to spoil me, you can. If you, I want to repeat. If you want to spoil me, you can.
But have one account.
Openness.
We have the simple
openness,
the trust. So for me, I think that's
the key. Now we need to talk about this sozo. What is sozo? Meaning of sozo? The
meaning of sozo is to heal, to save, to deliver, to preserve. And in the New Testament, it means salvation.
Salvation.
It's a Greek word.
Okay.
We took this Noah's Ark because the rainbow is just a way of God saying any saving.
Salvation. And the Noah's Ark was the salvation.
You had to be in the ark.
Now you had to be in the ark to be saved. And this was the promise.
And that's a promise.
The rainbow was created by God.
Yes, which is God's.
But the rainbows.
Sometimes we see the rainbow and we're like, no. It was created by God as a promise.
And people have taken over.
The disciples' game.
Yes. So it's a fun way of reading the Bible.
Can I open?
Yes.
Please.
The game has 402 verses. It has 402 verses, and it's a fun way of reading the Bible. And Mato tells me how he came up with it is he loves games, but he used to wonder why he doesn't read the Bible.
Why I never used
Why
to.
he never used. So it has verses.
These are verses.
On the reverse. So there are 4 colors. why he never used to read the Bible. And one of the reasons was he thought the Bible was boring.
Yes.
It's until he lost his sight that he started reading and devouring the word. Yeah? So God gave him the idea to come up with this. Okay. And so it's a way of, you read the Bible. You read the Bible in a fun way as you play, as you move. So this is the board, and then
this is the board.
Yeah. So this is the board. It has the salvation triangle.
Supposed to be this other way.
Yeah. It has the deliverance triangle, and it has the salvation triangle, the white one.
Yeah.
It is the 6-pointed star. Remember the Star of David? It comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 6-pointed star. And the colors. And then the board has the fruits of the Holy Spirit and the vices. So you can either move. If you land on jealousy, you go back. If you land on patience, you move forward. Then we have the purple spaces, which is rest. And it's just a game of life, really, because in life you start, you move, there are places you need rest. The places when life, nothing is happening. Then you have joy, so you move back. Sometimes you're greedy, you go back 7 steps. But all the while you're reading. So if you read this verse, tells you proceed to nearest rest. You have to read the verse aloud.
You read the verse and then you follow the instructions.
Yes, then you follow the instructions.
Tell her about Hazel when she was 3.
Yeah, so it has, when Hazel was 3 years old, our oldest, she was just playing around as we are playing. And then, Dogo, we hear a child, John Tin, because you have to, there are 2 verses. Salvation one is John 3:16, and the
this is well thought out.
And the deliverance verses is
verses.
Yeah, I look up to the hills. Where does my help? I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from?
My help comes
so
from
she
the
would
Lord.
walk around too, and we are playing, and then we hear a child reciting.
Yeah,
and we are like, Allah. So you've been listening to us, and it's just entering in. So it's a way of people learning to memorize scripture.
A fun way.
Also, the verses speak on salvation, deliverance, preservation. Those are the verses that are picked from all books of the Bible. And Martin was telling you earlier, he was opening his large print Bible, looking for the verse and typing it the initial time, and then playing and landing on the board and playing by himself back. So probability, what are the chances that someone will play 4 times and not 6 times? You can only go a maximum of 4 times. So he's telling him, you are genius in another level.
He is a genius.
That I can't explain.
Hey, this is well thought. So these are the...
Yeah, this is...
this is made in Kenya.
Yeah.
Made in Kenya?
Yeah.
So these are the bits. This is representing the colors. So if you pick whichever one, then it shows the color you are on the board.
So I pick anonymously?
Yes. So you put your hand in the
bag.
Put my hand
this is an
in.
extra
See,
one.
they're all here.
They're here.
So I put my hand in the bag?
No. The one on top.
No. Talking about the bits.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So you dip your hand in the bag.
And then I pick one.
Yes, so that's green. So it means you will pick the top green verse.
Okay.
Then you read it.
The Lord is my shepherd.
Yes.
Proceed
start from Psalms. We want to
Psalms 23, 1-3.
Yes.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Proceed to the nearest rest.
Yeah, so if you are outside, this is who you are. So they are small tokens. That's what depicts who
this is fun. When you are having those couples meetings.
Yes.
This is what you do.
Youth groups, church groups.
Yeah. Family get-togethers.
Right, yeah. So if you are the Bible, that's where you are. So you are proceeding to nearest rest. And when you land on rest, because you're on the deliverance triangle, you pick a deliverance card. Which, so you keep them. Those are saviors. Because if you land on a negative, like greed,
jealousy,
-7, instead of going back, you return the deliverance card and then you stay there.
Wow, but the instructions are all here.
Instructions are there. But and then after that, you have a debrief. You need to debrief. Just talk about how your journey was. And we've had examples of people saying someone kept picking positive verses all the time. And she said, positive is good, but at some point you want negative to go back.
Yeah.
But she kept picking, and those verses were verses that were speaking to her because she was in a space in her life where she was wondering if God listens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We had a guy who had over 10 deliverance cards. And we laughed at him. We were playing at ICC back then. And then he says that, you guys, you do not understand. I've been asking God for deliverance. And for me, even having these cards is reassurance of deliverance.
Yeah.
So we are so grateful. And there are so many testimonies. There are kids we've played with. And they're like, no, there's no book of Nahum. That is not in the Bible. So you stop the game to open the Bible to
confirm there is Nahum. There's Jonah. It's just not a character.
Yes.
There's a book of Jonah.
Yes.
Wow, so this is really well thought. How long did it take?
It took him a year.
Only?
Maybe 6 months.
And then
2011. You see, I got the idea 2010 December.
Wow.
So January to June, because I went to work July Uko, Baricha Road. So I finished, I think, by June, end of June. Maybe it was just now kidogo tu touching base hapa na pale. But 6 months we had a game.
The game.
Yeah.
And there's no way I can play the same. If we play it today, tomorrow it will totally be different. So you'll never get bored.
Yes.
Oh, because
it can be played by 2 to 12 people.
Disciples.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's the disciples game.
Yeah.
So if you are a disciple, the evidence is having this game.
Oh yeah.
You need this. How much is it going for?
4,500.
4,500. Where are they?
Facebook page, Sozo the Game.
Oh, so you have them in Athi River?
Yes.
Okay.
We have them, but then we are sending all over.
All over. So you'll give me your number. We'll put it on the screen.
Okay.
Guys, this is how we support one another in the kingdom, but also a great way to read the Bible and to have fun while doing the right thing. Oh, yeah. This is how it looks like. And you'll also share your Facebook handles.
Yes.
Visit the description of this video to get all the details that you need to have yourself sozo. And you can also gift someone. I already have someone in mind who really love playing games. They meet as couples and they play board games all the time. So this would be a good challenge for them.
Yeah.
So guys, get the details and you can inquire. Facebook you are?
Sozo the Game.
Sozo the Game on Facebook. Wow, this is really good. You should do like yearly.
We should
Get us one for toddlers.
Yes, he's actually working on a children's game right now.
Oh, nice.
And last week he told me he has an idea for a game for couples.
For couples, yeah, just the two of us.
Like we said, anapenda mchezo.
Anapenda mchezo sana. Whoever said anapenda mchezo.
Yeah.
It was a prophecy.
It was a
prophesying.
Yeah, I was prophesying. So thank you so much for your time.
Most welcome.
And thank you so much for even sharing your journey. We are inspired. I think sometimes we take for granted what we have, and sometimes we give up too soon, and sometimes we also judge people. And we have learned. How would you, if you were to advise the church or the society or Rodah, the outsiders, how can we treat you better?
Let's be human. We are not any special or I'm trying to get the opposite. Abnormal. We are not abnormal. We don't bite. It's human. It's just a condition that, for instance, Mato has. And sometimes I'll be here pushing him on the wheelchair or holding his hand. But please just we are approachable. Because I find that when people are approaching, they're approaching with how can I help? And I get that, but it's not authentic.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I can approach to say hi.
Yes, and it's just hi, and let's talk about the weather, and then that's it. Yeah. Or yes, I'm just saying hi, like you have nice hair, and then I go. but let it be authentic.
Wow. Thank you so much. What have you learned today? Let us know in the comment section from wherever you are. I will be putting their contacts in the description and even on the screen, so you can reach out as well. But thank you so much for your time. Marriage works. For better, for worse, it works. Yours can work too. Yours is working in Jesus' name. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Amen.